Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're talking about the big one, the big week in my stock market portfolio, and I'm sure some of you guys have one of these two stocks in your portfolio, either Greggs, either Boohoo. For me, these two are my biggest UK holdings in my UK portfolio, by quite a bit as well. Hollywood Bowl is getting a little bit closer, but it's still not as big as these two. So we've got earnings this week from Greggs, and we also have earnings as well from Boohoo. Both of them I expect to move quite a bit off earnings as well, so it could be a bit of a volatile week for these two. And hopefully it's positive news. And I'll kind of go through, I'll start off with Greggs and then I'll go on to Boohoo, and I won't throw any pens away as well today. But I'll go through these two companies, what I'm kind of expecting from these two companies with their earnings report, my kind of feelings towards it. And on Tuesday it is Greggs reporting their earnings, and then on Wednesday it's Boohoo reporting their earnings. So if the stock moves quite a bit, I might make a video about it, but like I say, I do expect them to move. So I am expecting some big movements in these companies. So I will try and do a video on Greggs and Boohoo. I'll see what day it is. It might be Thursday or Friday by the time I get around to it. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, it's going to be, I think, a massive week for these two companies. I'm really excited. I'm expecting big things from them. So I'll talk through today what I'm really expecting through these companies. And as always, guys, you can smash the like button. That'd be absolutely amazing. And we'll take a look. So like I say, Greggs are reporting their third quarter trading update on the 29th of September 2020, so on the Tuesday. And what I want to do is just pop to the interim results, which was to the end of June. So this was kind of like the half the year results. And the big thing that sticks in my head right now is when we go into how the company was performing after the weeks of June. So the first couple of weeks in July, we kind of got an insight into how Q3 was going. And this is the page that was the standout for me in the last earnings report. And this is the early trends in demand, first 3 weeks since full reopening. So this is into July, first in the third quarter really, when a lot of the stores were open. And you can see this was a really encouraging sign in, well, what was going on. So you can see the first kind of week in July, we were on 68%. We then kind of went up like another 2% to, 2019 levels. We got to just above 70%, and then another 2%, and we got to 72%. So every week we were kind of getting 2% closer to 2019 levels. Now I don't think that we'll get to 2019 levels this year. As I said previously, the first thing I want to see with Greggs is get them to 80%, because at 80%, Greggs can kind of break even. So that's what I'm looking for. Now, the only thing that I'm going to say is that because it relies on a lot of students, obviously there's no students in August. So that's one thing that I'm a little bit wary on is, does it kind of level out a little bit in August? Does it stop growing at a 2% rate? That's the only thing that I've got, a bit wary about. But apart from that, everyone kind of went back to full-time education in September. So I'm hoping that in September we do see it above 80%, and that's all I want from Greggs. Break even. They're not losing money. They don't have to take any more debt on. The whole thing about Greggs for me in 2019 is to see them break even, and then we don't have to worry as much. So from the 25th of July, where it was at 72%, can we see this stock add another 8% on there? And if it carries on growing at the 2% rate that it was currently going at, we should see it of broken even about 22nd of August. Now, like I say, I don't know, because of the students and summer, where a lot of the income comes from, not many students, obviously at education settings. So maybe it doesn't happen until September, but if they carried on at the rate they were doing, then we should see them break even around 22nd of August. But like I say, realistically, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they're actually doing it around the 11th of September. But that's the big thing I'm looking for in that earnings report, is to see that they're able to get 80% of the 2019 levels. That's what I'm looking for. That's the big thing for me in this Greggs earnings. If they can get above 8% on where they were at, I'm going to be a very happy investor. So that's the key thing that I'm going to be looking out for in them earnings report on Tuesday. Now, on the side note, on the stock chart side of it, it is positioned here to do really well off these earnings. You look at what's happened, it dropped down to about 1,400. It then went up again to about 1,800. And then since then, the 5th of June, the stock's gone down another 40%. And it's kind of been reopened by then. So I think this company needs a good earnings. A good earnings can, turn this around. I think, for the company. I mean, it's crazy how cheap this company is back at now for me, Greggs. It's one of the biggest bargains on the stock market. And like I say, if we see some good earnings report and the stock is this much sold off, I won't be surprised if it spikes up a lot. If Greggs is able to do 80% and break even or above 8%, I would not be surprised to see this stock jump. So we'll see what happens on the earnings report. It is a big one. I am actually kind of looking forward to this a little bit more than the Boohoo ones, just because of how much the stock sold off. I really think this could be the turning point for Greggs. Obviously, I don't want to bet too much on short term because I'm not a short term trader, but I think, guys, look at how much that sold off, since, COVID, and look how, it's below COVID levels. I just really struggle to get my head around that Greggs has now fully reopened. I went to the Trafford Centre on Saturday, and the Greggs in there, the people were queuing outside of the shop and round the corner a little bit. There was, a good 7-8 people in the line for Greggs, and it's a positive sign. So we'll see what happens. I think we could be in for a little bit of a shock on that one. So I would like to see the stock spike from here. So the other big name that's going to be on here today, obviously Boohoo. Great day on Friday. Stock was up 15% in the end. I actually did the 11 a.m. upload, which I've never done before. It did quite well though. And yeah, Boohoo is actually my biggest position in the UK stock market right now, and I'm currently up something like 50%, I think, right now as recording this video, which is pretty good for, to be up 50%, and I've only been in the company like three months, maybe 4 months, is very good. I don't really expect them sort of gains for about a year, so we're doing quite well. This could be a big moment in Boohoo and where it goes for the next couple of months. On my Discord group, we've been talking about this day for like the last kind of couple of months, so I'm probably, if I'm honest, I'm a little bit more confident in the Greggs earnings than Boohoo, and I'll go through the reasons why because of that. But like I say, Boohoo's reporting its earnings on their interim results on the 30th of September, which is going to be the Wednesday. But first of all, just from the stock market point of view, it's kind of getting back to all-time highs. So the stock's kind of not, and obviously the jump on Friday really helped it, but obviously compared to like Greggs, it's not as sold off. So we're kind of looking at like new investors to get in this after earnings. Kind of like we need people to get FOMO after these earnings, so we need some standout earnings. But the thing with Boohoo is, first of all, I think they'll do okay because it's e-commerce. And when you think about all the e-commerce platforms and, online only during lockdown, all of them so far have brought out really good results. So from that point of view, I expect Boohoo to have decent results. The only little problems that we do have is the Leicester factory situation and how much is that going to take effect on the Boohoo earnings. A profit margin is going to get hit because they've had to change suppliers, as well as that because of other people like Next, Amazon stop selling the products. Is that going to affect the sales that much? We'll see what happens. But like I say, that was, obviously around about June time. So it shouldn't be that much in this quarter as well, which is a big thing. And you'll also get, obviously like the lockdown and everything in this kind of quarter. So I think Boohoo should bring out some decent earnings. I'm expecting them to do quite well. The only thing that kind of works against them is that and how much the stock has now started to recover. Obviously 374 is a bit of a big recovery when it's, 52 highs is 433. I guess it kind of leaves some room, but yeah, I think it should be good. We'll see what happens. So overall, those are some thoughts on Greggs and Boohoo. Like I say, I'll be taking a big look on these two because obviously when it's your two biggest positions reporting earnings, it's a big week. So we'll see what happens. Like I say, I'm more confident on the Greggs than the Boohoo situation, but I think they both should do decent results, really. I think they should be pretty decent, so we'll see what happens. And like I say, if there's some big movements, I will do a video on them anyway, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. So and best of luck to you guys that are also holding shares in Greggs and Boohoo. Let me know if you're a shareholder in these two companies as well. And as always, guys, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next video.